for New York Toy Fair 2016. Right now we're in like a theater setting. They're going to make us put our phones away. They said we can't record anything. So I'm going to have to put this away. And then after, they're going to pair us up into a little group setting and give us a chance to get a little Q&A with the Marvel team. And then after that, the Star Wars team. So I'll be right back.
Profile.
So here's a guy.
So what else?
Can you lift the face mask up first?
I can't lift this one up. Okay. Downstairs we'll have the one that you can lift off. This one's actually glued down permanently.
What's the
so
price
it doesn't fall off. Estimated retail is $99.99 for both the helmet as well as the cap. So Spider-Man is going to be at Walmart pre-order coming soon. Iron Man at Target and Cap at TLU.
But eventually
they're all carrying all of it.
They're just being staggered after different.
Yeah, exactly. The pre-order is being staggered, but once day one hits, it's free open game. Anyone that Hasbro sells to has the opportunity.
Can I ask you a question, Dwight?
We've had a lot of
Whose side are you on?
successful selling.
Whose side?
Whose side would I be on?
Yeah.
I think I would have to be on Wolverine's side.
Wolverine.
Whoa. No, I think I'd go with Cap.
Cap?
Yeah.
That's right on.
He's very handsome.
And you can relate to that? You consider yourself handsome as well?
Not in the least.
Or Hugh Jackman handsome?
I was lucky enough that my wife did.
Oh,
The price point, but with the extra
We
accessories.
definitely are inspired by what else is out there in the world, whether it's something that an internal team member comes up with, or something we see, or something that we hear from the boards when we like Steve said. Steve checks your guys' sites religiously. We do as well. We have Bobby, Tony, myself, Rob. On all of our different disciplines are super fans, as well as just part of the team. So
Even
we're
Sharpness
always
Prime? You watch Sharpness Prime too?
on marvelousnews.com.
Oh, that's how you don't watch it through your YouTube channel. You just
I don't look to YouTube.
It's this new website that just started, and
You're talking Dwight Stahl.
Yeah.
as far as those accessories go, do you think we'll get interchangeable hands for female figures too?
Some of them.
Scarlet
Yes.
Witch would be really cool to have.
Rogue has an alternate hand, so you can have her ungloved hand, so she can so she can suck the life out of whatever she wants to. Human vampire like powers. Cool.
With the new X-Men wave
Yes.
that's coming up. We're seeing Deadpool, we're seeing Cable. Is there a chance maybe we might be able to see like a classic X-Force
Set?
set down the road?
I think if the demand is there, if the opportunity is there, I don't see why not. I'd love to do
classic X-Force, X-Factor.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to do that stuff. It's easier for us to lean into the X-Men because Fox does promote a lot of their movies. The X Factors, and I know there's a lot of rumors about an X-Force movie.
But
I don't know if that's real, if that's confirmed.
Now that you have Havoc, from the classic line. And is that within your reach of doing? I know with certain rights and stuff.
Certainly. Yeah. We stray away from the movie versions of the figures because they don't have as much mass appeal.
Okay.
So we do the comic versions, but certainly the movies coming out drive sales, and we need to be able to hit a certain MOQ to put them out in the marketplace.
Yes.
So in a movie year, it makes sense to do an X-Men wave, and that's why you're seeing that. And that's another second half of the year wave as well. So we're trying to spread the legends over the year a little bit more.
That's why we held back things like the Build-A-Figure, and there's another character in the wave that we didn't reveal today as well. So just to keep a few things back for throughout the we have the Pulse, we have this event, we have the Comic-Cons. There's a lot of opportunities for us now to get out there and give you guys updates.
Now, you're not going to want to talk to us until.
So are there box sets that we might not have seen?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we we didn't even begin to discuss in the works.
I love the added articulation in the figures. I think the articulation has been really good lately, and I noticed that on the newer Mockingbird figure, we have a disc hinge in the neck, but the hair is so stiff that she can't look up. Is there any kind of research or any kind of desire to use more pliable yet durable material for hair on these figures so that they can look up?
Sure. We've added, while I haven't given you your double elbows on everything, we do know that if those extra points are important to a lot of the fans. So a character like Mockingbird has the neck disc as a futuristic, what have you. If there's an opportunity to reuse her, if there's a girl with this doesn't make sense, but if you were going to do Daisy or Maria Hill, and you would put that head on a body like that in the future, it would be able to work. We've looked at some of the softer plastics. When you go too soft, you risk tear. And even with the softer plastics, they want to return to their natural. So even if you posed them looking up, it would just go back, even if it was softer. That's just
So you'd have to do a separate head sculpt with the hair sculpted in a way where you can lean it all the way back. I want 25 cents for each figure you sell when that finally happens.
That's the price of all that beautiful, lady hair.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a big fan of the prior universe, but now Marvel Legends, the smaller scale. Even the new ones, I picked up all the new 2-packs and love what you guys are doing with them, bringing the 2-packs with comics and everything. Articulation. We're missing some articulation that previously the older ones had, and now kind of moved away from. Is there a chance that maybe we can see some of that, or is there a reason that like the ab crunch and certain torso articulation and even the double elbows on those ones, there's no, it's not the double, it's the single. Is there a reason?
Yeah, why just the female figures are missing the double jointed elbows? That's the part I'm confused about. It's only the female ones, right?
On the 3
Well, on the smaller ones, the male
on the smaller ones too. Oh, you're talking about the smaller ones.
There's a lot of things that we look at when we're trying to figure out what's the right item for the right price. It's a very balanced, it's a balanced and delicate equation that we're always, arguing and fighting over, just to try to make sure that we're delivering a product that we're proud of and that we hope that you guys will support and
we have to make hard decisions. That's the problem. And it's a bit of Sophie's choice. Do we really want to go to a higher price point? We don't want to do that. We've seen price increases. It hurts the business when we do that. It didn't hurt us on Legends. That worked out fine. But in the 3 3/4, we feel like we have to hold to those price points. And you start tooling up new to do the doubles and the extra articulation. It starts pushing us over the edge. So, we're making. They're not all the perfect choices for every fan. But we're doing it to keep the line healthy so that we can keep it around.
Or you're putting out more characters and stuff. So that is good.
Your character selection for 3 1/4 is on point.
Yeah,
For that first wave.
Tell Bobby when Bobby's downstairs. You tell him when you see him downstairs. He's a 3 3/4 guy.
I picked those up this past week and they're great.
Awesome.
Has Hasbro are they kind of running a little bit low as far as the budget they're setting aside for 3 3/4 range? Because when we talked to Bobby at San Diego Comic-Con, I was like, hey, use that Daredevil mold, with the waist swivel and it has all the double jointed whatever. So you already have that mold. Why aren't you just reusing that over and over again? It's like free. You already have the tooling for that. And his explanation was it's not free. It's still expensive to produce figures with a lot of articulation, even though you already have the tooling for it. Which makes me think that since you released a lot of figures with that mold before, that Hasbro's kind of allotting a little bit less money towards Marvel Universe. Is that so? It looks like it.
No. It's like there's a creep in the development of product. While we have created multiple things over the course of our tenure working on this stuff, some of those Daredevils that we made 2 or 3 years ago, tooling no longer is something that matters for that body. But there's labor, there's plastic costs, there's lots and lots of
moving
things.
parts.
Lots of moving
It's
parts.
a pretty complicated matrix, actually, believe it or not, for toys.
But you did re-release the new, in the recent wave, the Spider-Man. You re-released the old Spider-Man, which has all the articulation, same thing as the Daredevil.
It's a balance. We can throw something here, we got to pull something over here. So that's why, you'll see those things mixed in and out. They're not
across the year.
Yeah, they're not gone. When we can get the right wave balanced out, you'll see those things, and like you said, they'll come back in, they'll move around, and there'll be, and there's not a one fits all strategy for the stuff.
Exactly.
And going back to tooling, re-releases of characters and stuff like that. Is there any chance at all we might get a re-release of the Big Time Spider-Man? And if you do so, would you please label it as the Big Time Letdown Spider-Man, but make it incredibly awesome? It's just a personal request. You're gonna do it. Come on, just do it. Just do it.
We'll take everything under advisement.
Yeah, we'll take everything under advisement.
Noted, my arch nemesis.
Yeah. Noted. Yes.
Any other questions?
Any other plans to do any more cosplay oriented
I
stuff?
hope so, man. I hope so.
Oh,
It's
What would you like to see?
yeah.
I threw the questions at you. You threw it back at me.
Yeah.
No, this is why we talk to you guys. It's, you know, this is obviously a first for us. It's a really important launch. We're spending a lot of energy to get it right.
Hawkeye's bow and arrows.
Yeah, I was thinking Hawkeye's bow and
And you know, to tell you the truth,
Hawkeye's
it's
bow?
part of why we are doing the pre-order program, so we can read early what the demand's going to be, and we can start thinking about 2017, which we need to. There's a whole bunch of movies coming then too. Right? You said I heard bow. I heard Mjolnir.
The bone quiver set
Yeah. Oh, nice.
where it would spin.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Like,
your head.
like the Avengers 2 version? Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's hard.
that's legal. That's
That's
legal.
hard. I'm thinking how we do that.
Hey, give me a pen. We'll work it out.
I love it. I love it. Any other ideas?
Speaking of weapons, the color choice for the weapons that come with the Marvel Legends figures have been a little bit wacky. I noticed, like with the Demolition Man or the Scourge figure, you had the throwback to D-Man with the brown and yellow, which is like a fairly reasonable excuse for using weird colors. But the weird, designs for weapons has kind of gone rampant now. It's like nobody's gonna have like real gun. Well, the Punisher and the Nuke, the weapon that Nuke had looked strange, right? It looked like a weird
we
made up
used his
bazooka
gun
thing.
first for the AIM soldiers.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, so is that something that Disney is pushing on you guys to do to stay away from realistic weapons?
So the reality is, these are sold in toy aisles that are frequented by kids, and we have to believe that much of the growth of our Legends business isn't just attributed to the core fan toy collector. We're getting a wider range. We're getting regular everyday dads who
That's
are
been
playing
like
with
that
their
the whole
characters.
time, though.
But the growth we're hitting more because we're in toy aisles. We do play a little conservative. We're Hasbro, a big family company. We work with Disney, a big family company. We do try to play conservative on the realistic weaponry.
So that's people. So wow, okay. So
So
kids watch a lot of YouTube. I'm just trying to make this connection over here. So
We're just trying to make responsible choices. That's all.
Yeah.
So
We can err on the
so we
side
will-
of
we
alien
will-
blasters and stuff. It's
Yeah.
just that stuff's just as legitimate to the lore as modern realistic weaponry.
Yeah.
So
We got a lot of
if we
things to
can
choose
if we can mix and match, and we do still mix and match.
Yeah.
There's a balance. We want to be respectful to the character and to the fandom that will be attracted by that character. So Punisher has a big old bazooka, and things like that are realistic.
Yeah.
But then other characters have lots of sci-fi blasters and
Deadpool has a couple fun things downstairs.
yeah.
So are Deadpool's weapons? What color are Deadpool's weapons?
Deadpool has a bazooka that fires a box. That's a lie?
Is it really a lot?
Are you challenging me in this forum?
Does he have a rubber chicken?
Does he have a rubber chicken? Yeah. Are you serious? He shoots a boxing glove?
Deadly serious.
That's kind of awesome. I think that's kind of awesome.
I want him to have an actual gun, but does he come with
Would
an
you
actual
be happy
gun?
if I told you that the boxing glove could pop off the end? And then you can have a regular bazooka.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. All right.
I can make we can make everybody get along.
I kind of like the boxing glove.
What's that?
Oh, just go with that Deadpool.
Which one?
The figure.
Oh.
Awkward. All right.
How about
This is awkward. This setting is
Comic
weird.
Con exclusives?
I'm sorry?
For Comic Con?
Hints for Comic-Con exclusives.
None.
Oh,
no way.
man.
Let me start you off.
Is
So
it going
last
to be
year,
easy to ship? How about that?
Hints. We have two.
Okay.
There you go. Wow.
Just for the Marvel
For
stuff.
approval to say that.
Yeah, but last year you had two. One in the smaller scale, one in the large scale.
Doctor Strange movie is this year. So
sorry?
Can we look forward to like
What was that?
The box like this
I
big
don't know.
or this
I don't know.
Regular
The
shape.
box is large
I'm
enough
gonna
to
let
fit the
that
product that goes inside.
It's too fun. It's our big secret, right? It's too fun.
I believe every wave that we have in development still contains a Build-A-Figure, and they vary in different,
Yes.
different scales and sizes.
We heard loud and clear that was important, especially important for anyone who sells online. They want to build a case pack for the Build-A-Figure so they don't have to split and break them apart, and then they end up with onesie twosies.
We're always, but we're always trying to find out, what's next, right? Does Build-A-Figure last till the end of this line, or are there other places for us to explore? You guys tell us what you guys want. Would you rather have a Build-A-Figure, or would you like to have a character that comes with, an entire armory? And it's a character by character specific thing, right? Would you rather have a Punisher with no a wave with no Build-A-Figure? Would you get Punisher with an arsenal, Deadpool with an arsenal, Scarlet Witch with a half dozen magic effects? You guys tell us.
Speaking of that, with the Nick Fury that's coming out with the swappable heads.
Yes.
You had said army builder.
Yes.
Is there a chance that we could see army builder packs, Hydra, Shield, some of the ninja clans?
It's tough. It's super niche.
Yeah.
It's super niche, and
You'd rather put it out as a single,
Yeah.
and then give us the opportunity.
Those are scary, honestly. We know that there is a chunk of hardcore fans that would love to have a half a dozen shield agents,
may
or
have
100
brought-
multiple men. There are some of you out there that would buy that.
I may have brought 20 Hydra figures.
So we do know that you guys exist. It's just, items are precious to us, and if we have one that's a miss, that,
be a big
it's a wasted opportunity.
it's a wasted
right?
opportunity. So,
Yeah.
we're having so much
And
success.
they're pricey, as you know. They're pricey. They're pricey. So it limits your audience.
Like an exclusive, like the Guardians of the Galaxy set.
Right.
So then it's a limited run, or
Yeah.
like still out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love the effects we're getting. Like, that's an awesome move. I think like the effects that we saw for Havoc were great. We already had awesome effects with Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, and then you added them for Iron Man. We're gonna keep exploring that even more. Is it gonna keep going?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, when the character's right, that we can use those types of things, we're going to. I love that was something that we started doing maybe a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, it's recent.
We just like, these characters do so much more than just sit there on their shelves, and we wanted to give you guys more pieces to play with. Whether you're a diorama builder, or you just have that one beautiful shelf, or you just have that one signature character.
Would you say the adult audience has been growing? Like, do you see more and more adult collectors? I know you mentioned a lot more children buying. But what about the adult? Like, how do you track that?
So I think we use different terminology, right? I think what we're seeing is that fandom for these properties aren't marked, right? And fans cover kids who are fans and adults who are fans. But within the adult environment, I think you have kind of a hardcore community, which you guys are a part of. Toy action figure collectors, sometimes specific to property, sometimes specific to scale, but you got more casual fans that are entering into this environment, inspired by the movies primarily, right? They're falling in love with the films. They go to the shelf and they see they want to buy their kid the cool version of Iron Man, the $20 version, or they themselves want something to put on their desk. So they might not be buying deep, right? They might buy a wave, and they might buy a couple figures. Unlike folks like yourselves and others that buy everything, we hope. So it's a different type of consumer, and everyone enters in a different way and expresses their fandom in a different way.
How do you guys know how old your customers are?
We talk to them. We do a lot of research. We just got done with a huge research study. We do focus group interviews. We do some online surveys. We go out into the wild and hang out at Comic-Cons and see who's showing up. We sometimes even, uncomfortably intercept people in stores and just say, I spend a heck of a lot of time at shelf watching what's happening, and I talk to people.
Kids, right? You don't run up to little kids.
I do not.
Just stay away from the playground.
I talk to parents, escort. Yeah, exactly.
Might have to walk around the playground.
There's a lot of different ways to get information.
I
about
got a
this.
new body boy buck or whatever the heck that was. What is it?
Not me.
Your boy body buck.
Yeah,
You guys weren't allowed to record during
But
that,
it is,
so I'm
but
not
it is,
worried.
but you hit on a point, and that is the market for these premium figures is clearly evolving. You can see if you look across Hasbro, whether it's in Transformers, in Star Wars, in Marvel, in My Little Pony, we're starting to sell more premium offerings. And they're becoming physically, the sizes of the lines, the amount of space and the shelves that these take up is bigger because they're delivering, which I think is great. It should be great for any fan because it just allows us to pump more into the marketplace. I mean, our figure counts year over year have constantly, when you take them in sum total across all the brands, they have increased massively at Hasbro, which is a blast, right? Because that's where we get to do the super fun stuff that all the fanboys that work within Hasbro get to do, and then you get to do ludicrous things.
Lightsabers, props. When did you get like the premium figures that are on par with like the Japanese stuff?
I don't know. We talked about it. We have talked about that. When is the market ripe in the rest of the world? Because that's a very market specific thing.
Right.
So it's Japan, parts of China. We're a global company, globally minded. We want to make sure when we do something, it's going to have a place for all the markets. And so,
And we want to make sure that we're not going to cannibalize the other pieces of the portfolio as well.
Exactly. And I think our big step is what we're doing with 12-inch this year, because that's another big movement towards something we haven't done before. Basically taking 6-inch Legends quality and delivering it at a 12-inch scale, which allows the sculpts to be even better. Because the bigger you get, the more detailed you can get into the sculpt. When you see the Captain America downstairs, you see what I'm talking about. I think it's an awesome sculpt.
Yeah.
The robes look a little weird.
Yeah.
For the Force Awakens Luke, are you planning on sticking to like the soft goods type of look, or a molded, like a molded outer garb for him?
So somebody else mentioned that, and I would say that the model, the prototype that we had of his soft goods at Comic-Con is different than what you'll see in final production. So I'd wait and see when you get it in final production. Let us know what you think about it, because it is a little different. I think it's a better update than what we had revealed. You don't have the figure yet, right? You got it? How'd you get your hands on one of those? That's amazing.
I may have been on a business trip and
Oh, wow,
found
really?
one floating in the.
Oh, okay. So I mean, what we'll do with Episode 7, Luke, I can't really tell you right now how we're going to treat it. I mean, it's always a balance with soft goods and molded. What captures a certain look a certain way.
Not Episode 7 Luke, Farm Boy Luke.
Farm Luke,
I
you
was
said
talking
you
about-
have,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you were asking me about.
I was because the Farm Boy, it wasn't. It just seems very like he's floating in the garb.
Right. Okay. All right.
From what I saw.
Right. On a final production figure that you've got.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll look to you guys and see what kind of commentary, if it's something that folks
That's the
feels-
feedback that my followers have also kind of
Right.
from the pictures.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if for the Force Awakens Luke.
Right. That's
if
what
that,
I meant.
If that
yeah.
would be
exactly
changed a little.
Yeah. I can't tell you exactly how we're going to go on the Force Awakens Luke when we get to it in terms of soft goods or molding. I'll definitely say we continue to monitor, and if we see the feedback on that Farm Boy Luke being an issue, we could run any change it. We could do something different with it. But I know we got to a point where we had a final production sample. We were feeling pretty good about it. But
molded looked, in my opinion, molded looked.
Yeah. I mean, things like Phasma, we specifically went with a molded look because of the way her cape drapes and the kind of the detail on the back we couldn't get with soft goods. We thought it was appropriate for Farm Boy Luke to do soft goods, but I mean, if we're hearing otherwise from you guys, then obviously we need to take it to
For the Rebels line, you're moving into the 6-inch with Rebels.
Yeah.
Ahsoka looks awesome.
Yeah, she's great sculpt.
You showed Sabine, she looks awesome. Are you gonna split up, I guess, between the meantime of like Rogue One and the next Star Wars Episode 8 coming out? Are you gonna try to complete some of those essential characters that we've seen in the smaller scale? in the 6-inch scale?
I would love to get to a point where we have the whole cast of the Ghost, the whole crew.
The Ghost crew, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and we're gunning for that, absolutely. So you got Kanan, you have
Kanan looks awesome,
yeah,
too.
Yeah, he came out really well. I mean, Sabine's phenomenal. When you actually get downstairs and see that figure, it's crazy. So yes, that is the plan. We're gradually getting to it. With Black Series, it's, you know, it goes heavy on the movie that's there. Like, you know, like when Force Awakens hit, we went heavy there. But it's so broad and agnostic. It keeps, you know, everything. We'll go all the way back to episode 1.
You can take a little from here, a little from there.
Exactly.
But you got to hit when it sells to.
Yeah, I mean,
merchandise.
you know, it's a fan-driven line, so we know that there's love for, you know, everything across the board for Star Wars. So, but yeah, I mean, in terms of Rebels, I definitely want to get to the full crew of the Ghost, and then maybe some villains there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Darth Revan, is
Revan?
that
Yeah.
Revan? Is he like his garb molded or soft goods?
It's both.
It's both.
Yeah,
it's a
both.
good mixture.
There's some soft goods and there's also some molded components too.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's downstairs. You'll get it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
And you were saying with the vehicles, did the TIE Fighter sell the 6-inch scale, the larger TIE Fighter? Did that sell well enough to warrant doing bigger scale vehicles?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it definitely did. We were happy with it.
Okay.
It's not so much the sales of that, it's also just sort of what makes sense next in terms of what vehicles and what size they are, and kind of creating a SKU that supports, you know, either one or a few of them.
Okay.
So, you know, it quickly gets to a point where some vehicles are just not possible in 6-inch, but there are some that are definitely on the plate that we're going to look to get to.
We'll probably never see a Millennium Falcon in 6-inch.
I don't know how big your house is, man, or how much money you make, but I mean...
You saw that Hot Toys one.
That was sick. Yeah, but even that was just the cockpit.
Yeah.
Although their TIE Fighter was huge.
The TIE Fighter,
Yeah.
I'm sure people will love that, but like you said, how big's your house?
Yeah, but what was interesting, you know, Dave from Rebel Scum was asking, you know, what about, you know, some more kind of thematic, like scene elements? Like if you can't do a whole Millennium Falcon, what about the cockpit?
Yeah.
Exactly, or, you know, where the holochess table. So
that would be
nice. Yeah, that's something we've talked about too, like more kind of scene elements. We wouldn't do a whole Death Star, but we do the Emperor's Throne Room, that kind of great scene. So, I mean, I think, you know, there's a lot that we want to do, and we got to kind of pace it out, you know, over years. But you know, it's all stuff that we've been talking about. Love to get to.
Let me see. And right now, the Star Wars Black Series 3 3/4 figures, they're only being sold online retailers in Walmart.
Only
Specifically
Walmart.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Big Bad Toy Store also has them, online retailer.
Okay, then they must have picked it up
Secondary market.
In the U.S., it's a Walmart
As a
exclusive.
Walmart exclusive.
Yeah.
Are you planning on keeping that as a Walmart exclusive?
For the time being, we are. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So, I mean, it's been... Go ahead.
Why did you go from, you know, mass retail to just one retail?
Well, so, I mean, I think we used to do 30, 40 super articulated figures a year. And as 6-inch kind of took off, and our 5-point articulated figures, which we kind of reworked to get a good
classic.
price point, the classic, you know, those started to get more adopted by collectors. You know, we started to see, you know, the specific demand for 3 3/4 super articulated figures was only so much. It's such a classic, iconic aspect of what the line has become. We want to keep supporting it. But right now, the kind of 10 or so figures we do in a year, while it's less than what we would have done in the past, in the whole grand scheme of thing, it kind of fits the amount of
sells
demand.
there.
And exactly, Walmart, fantastic retail partner. You know, they do a great job with distribution and getting it out there and supporting it. And, you know, they're a good home to the collector. Right now, it feels like the right place for it to be.
Do you have more of that line coming down the pike?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So we have new stuff in the spring that we're going to announce very soon.
Okay.
And then new stuff in the fall as well. And what we're doing is we're not only trying to do new tooled figures like Force Awakens that you've never seen before, but also try to take some of the old school figures that we did in vintage that still have demand. And, you know, you see people, you know, buying them on eBay for incredible amounts of money. We want to repack some of those and, you know, give that love and let people be able to get those again. So
Now, do you have any, or have you heard the feedback that like the vintage carded figures, the packaging, like I really like that.
Oh yeah.
Now you have the box packaging, which is collector friendly because you can still take it out, display it. You know,
Yeah.
I take them out, review them, pose them,
Yeah,
and then put them back in the
put 'em back in.
package, and I'm
Yeah.
good. Which I do like that, but I like the carded figures.
Yeah.
What Are you guys sticking with the boxes, or possibly maybe looking towards a carded, or
Yeah,
keeping that to the 5-point?
well, it's boxed for both 5-point and 6-inch now. The Walmart 3 3/4 inch figures, they're in little boxes too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The 5-points are boxed. I
3
thought they're
3/4.
carded.
The 3 3/4 inch figures for Black Series you're talking about?
No, the regular classic 5-point articulation.
Those are carded.
Yeah, those are the carded.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The other ones, the super articulated.
Yes, those
as
are
you
in
call them
boxes.
now.
So you're asking,
Are you,
would we go to a card for
are
those?
you gonna go back to carded, or you want to keep them in a box?
Right now, the plan is to keep them where they are.
Okay.
We've received some feedback that online it's kind of difficult to tell what's 6-inch and what's 3 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at potential ways to kind of modify it so it's a little bit clearer. But we like the box; it feels a little more premium.
Okay.
Vintage is a whole other story. When we do go back to that, obviously we have to keep it pure and reverent to what that is. So that would be a card if when we do eventually get back to it. Yeah.
So will those be super articulated?
Don't know yet. We don't know
you haven't
when,
decided.
if, how vintage is coming back. We just know we have a huge amount of passion for it. We know fans do. It's only a matter of time.
Instead of paying $100 for a vintage carded.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
hate
Okay.
to interrupt, but we're going to start the tours.
Awesome.
So
All right.
Thank you very much.
Go see
Head
some of
out
the stuff.
and
You
see
got it. Thank you, man. All right.
I do like the look.